The year is 1420 AD. The Forbidden City is finished. This is the moment the Yongle Emperor officially moves the capital to Beijing, establishing a city designed with absolute precision. You are in the center of the Ming Empire, a massive fortress of red walls and golden tiles. But what was it actually like to spend a day here? Not as an emperor or a high-ranking official, but as an artisan, a woodcarver working on the final details of the imperial halls? Using AI trained on historical records and architectural evidence, we've reconstructed 24 hours in the life of this craftsman. Beyond the palace gates, we look through the eyes of a worker managing the peak of Ming aesthetics, the rigid social hierarchy, the specific tools used for the intricate structures, and the daily pressure of the imperial bureaucracy. From the dawn bell to the midnight curfew, this is the reality of life in 1420 Beijing. Let's step back 606 years. Dawn. The bell tower tolls to lift the night curfew. You wake up in a gray brick house in the East City Hutongs, sharing a cramped room with other woodcarvers. The interior is unheated and minimal. You start by washing your face with cold well water from a ceramic basin in the courtyard. To clean your teeth, you use a small bone brush with powdered bone or salt, a standard hygiene practice for Ming artisans. After washing, you put on your work clothes, a cross-collared robe of coarse linen, and heavy trousers tied at the ankles. You bind your hair into a tight top knot, securing it with a simple wooden pin. This hairstyle is a strict legal requirement of the Ming Dynasty to distinguish Han subjects from the former Mongol rulers. You tighten your cloth belt, ensuring your clothes are snag-free for working around heavy machinery and scaffolding. For breakfast, you eat 2 steamed buns filled with salted vegetables and a bowl of hot red bean soup. This meal is purely utilitarian, designed to provide enough calories for a day of physical labor. You consume it quickly under the light of a small oil lamp before clearing your space. There is no social conversation. The focus is on fueling your body for the construction site. Once finished, you wrap a few pieces of dried ginger in a small cloth to chew later. This helps combat the morning chill and suppressed hunger during long shifts. You also fill a small bamboo canteen with boiled water. In the rigid social hierarchy of the palace, finding time for water or food outside of designated breaks is difficult, so preparation is vital for survival. Next, you inspect your wooden tool bag. You check each iron chisel and hand plane to ensure the edges are sharp enough for imperial-grade carving. Any defect in your tools could lead to errors on the palace pillars, which results in strict corporal punishment. You then secure a wooden identity tag to your belt. This pass is required to move through the city's internal gates and checkpoints. As you exit the Hutong, you join a flow of workers heading toward the inner city. Unlike the unplanned, muddy streets of London or Paris in 1420, Beijing is a rigid, symmetric grid of stone and packed earth. The city is designed for a population of 1 million, with wide avenues built to move resources and enforce imperial order. You walk past gray brick walls toward the emerging red walls of the Forbidden City. Morning. By the time the sun has ascended, you're walking toward the massive southern gates of the inner city. As you navigate the rigid grid of the capital, your path takes you past the site of the Temple of Heaven, currently under construction. This religious complex, designed for the emperor to offer sacrifices to the sky, features circular altars that reflect early Ming spiritual architecture. While the Great Khan's landscape was shaped by Himalayan influences, the Ming landscape is being rewritten by the return of traditional Han Chinese cosmology, where the square earth meets the round sky. You reach Zhengyangmen, the main southern gate. Here, the logistical might of the Ming Empire is most visible. You stand aside to let a long caravan of heavy carts pass. They are carrying massive logs of Phoebe Zhenin wood from the jungles of Sichuan and Guizhou, transported over 1,000 miles via the Grand Canal. You observe the wood's immense scale. These are the central pillars that will support the palace halls. Each log is guarded by imperial soldiers, as the loss of such resources would delay the emperor's 1420 deadline. Moving north, you walk along the central axis, or the imperial way. You observe the absolute symmetry of the corridors and auxiliary buildings flanking the main path. Every stone slab and brick is positioned according to strict imperial geometry. To your left and right, officials in silken robes move toward their ministries, but you must remain on the designated paths for laborers. The city is a machine of order, where your movement is restricted by your social class, and the architecture itself serves to reinforce the distance between the commoner and the throne. You eventually reach the entrance to the Forbidden City at Tiananmen. Here, the security of the Ming Empire is felt most keenly. You witness the Jinyue, the emperor's secret police patrolling the gate. They wear the Fayufu robes, highly decorated silken uniforms that signify their elite status and direct loyalty to the emperor. Their presence is a reminder that in this new capital, surveillance is constant. You wait in a designated line with other artisans, keeping your head low as the guards inspect each man's physical appearance against their records. Your authority as a skilled worker is manifested in your wooden identity tag, which you present to the gate officials. They verify your registration with the Ministry of Works before allowing you to pass. While other civilizations at this time are governed by decentralized feudal lords with inconsistent laws, you are managed by a sophisticated bureaucratic system. Using official seals and inkbrush ledgers, the officials record your entry time and assigned work zone. Every nail plank and hour of labor is tracked with a level of administrative precision that ensures no resource is wasted in the completion of the emperor's vision. By mid-morning, you are on the high scaffolding of the Hall of Sovereign Heaven. Your work focuses on a central pillar made of non-mu wood. You use a heavy iron mallet and a set of curved chisels to strip away the outer layers of the timber. The process is repetitive. You outline the dragon's scales with a fine-pointed tool, then use a broader blade to gouge out the wood around the form. The depth of every cut is monitored. If you go too deep, the structural integrity of the pillar is compromised. You keep a whetstone hanging from your belt to resharpen your blades every hour as the dense wood quickly dulls the metal. After carving, you move to the courtyard to assist the bronze casters. Your role is to verify the alignment of the bronze incense burners before they are bolted into the stone. You use a long measuring cord made of silk and lead weights to ensure each burner is perfectly centered with the hall's axis. You watch as workers pour molten lead into the base joints to secure the heavy bronze legs to the marble. You must check for any cracks in the bronze surface caused by the cooling process. In this system, any structural flaw found later will be traced back to the artisan in charge of that section. Next, you inspect the 1,000 Dragon Heads drainage system along the white marble terraces. You use a metal rod to clear any stone debris or dust from the internal channels of the carvings. You must ensure the angle of the throat inside each stone dragon is slanted precisely at a 5-degree downward slope. This angle is calculated to maximize water pressure so that the runoff clears the building's foundation quickly. You record the status of each drainage point on a small wooden tablet, noting which ones require further sanding to smooth the water flow. While architects in Florence are building the first Renaissance domes, their projects lack this level of integrated mass engineering. In 1420, you were part of a project that manages 60,000 laborers and artisans using standardized parts. You check the fit of the dugong brackets complex wooden joints that hold the roof without nails. You use a wooden mallet to tap the interlocking pieces into place, ensuring the friction between the timber is enough to withstand an earthquake. Every joint you assemble is part of a modular system that allows the Ming to build massive structures at a speed and scale impossible for Western cities at this time. By midday, the heat of the sun signals a break in the heavy labor. You head toward the communal kitchens located near the workshop areas of the inner city. Here, the diet is designed for efficiency and energy. You sit on a low wooden stool and eat a bowl of hand-pulled wheat noodles topped with stir-fried cabbage and salted bean paste. To drink, you use a blue and white porcelain bowl, the mass-produced export of the era, to drink loose-leaf tea. Unlike the powdered tea of previous dynasties, this steeped tea is the new cultural standard of the Ming. It provides the caffeine necessary to maintain focus for the afternoon carving. After eating, you walk a short distance to Guangji Temple, a well-known spiritual center near the palace. This is not for leisure, but for psychological stability. You purchase 3 incense sticks from a street vendor and offer them at the main altar. Your prayer is specific. You ask for steady hands and the mental clarity to avoid any technical errors before the imperial overseers. In the Ming legal code, a mistake in the palace construction is not just a professional failure, but a crime against the state. You also leave a few copper coins as a merit offering to ensure your health continues through the grueling project. Next, you find a spot to rest under a large Bodhi tree in the temple courtyard. You observe the monks chanting sutras, their voices blending with the distant sound of construction mallets. This is the intersection of Ming life, the state's massive physical ambition, and the individual's need for spiritual protection. You use this time to chew on the dried ginger you prepared earlier, settling your stomach and clearing your palate. You observe other workers and low-level officials doing the same. The temple serves as a rare neutral space where the rigid hierarchy of the construction site is briefly relaxed. Before returning to work, you stop at a communal stone well near the temple entrance to refill your bamboo canteen. You check the time using the temple's sundial, calculating the remaining daylight for your carving tasks. You interact briefly with a local stonemason who is repairing a temple wall, comparing notes on the quality of the limestone being used in the city. In 1420, Beijing, the spiritual landscape, was dominated by this blend of Buddhism and folk practice, providing a necessary mental balance to the crushing physical demands of the imperial bureaucracy. By afternoon, you are assigned to the inner court, the residential heart of the Forbidden City. This is a zone of absolute silence and restricted movement. Your task is to repair and refine the intricate wooden window frames of the palaces. As you work, a procession of eunuchs and court ladies passes through the gallery. You immediately stop your tools, move to the side, and keep your head bowed low toward the ground. In the Ming court, looking directly at a member of the imperial household or their personal attendants is a serious breach of protocol. You wait until the sound of their silk robes fades completely before resuming your labor. While you work, you witness the formal handover of architectural blueprints from officials of the Ministry of Works to the site overseers. These drawings, rendered in black ink on fine paper, dictate every millimeter of the palace's decorative motifs. You observe the tension among the master craftsmen as they receive these orders. Under the Ming Code, any deviation from the approved long dragon pattern, such as an incorrect number of scales or a misplaced claw, is treated as a criminal act. The atmosphere is defined by this rigid adherence to standards. Your career and physical safety depend on your ability to replicate the state-sanctioned designs with absolute precision. Next, your afternoon ends at the local administrative office of the Ministry of Works. You are here to submit a report on the timber and lacquer used today. You use a standard brush and ink to record your progress in the imperial ledgers. While previous eras allowed for more artistic variation, the Ming administration focused on standardization to ensure the palace can be maintained for centuries. You press your personal artisan seal onto the document, linking your name to every inch of wood you carved today. In this city, power is exercised through this meticulous documentation, ensuring that every resource and every person is accounted for in the emperor's records. Sunset. The drum tower sounds, ending the workday. You leave the inner city gates and walk toward the night markets in the outer districts. The streets are lined with stalls lit by paper lanterns. You stop at a vendor to buy a tahi figurine made of colored glutinous rice dough for your child. You pay for it with bronze coins minted in the capital. This exchange is part of the state-controlled currency system that manages the city's economy. Next, you enter a tea house to sit. The space is crowded with laborers and officials drinking loose leaf tea. On a wooden stage, a storyteller recounts the return of Zheng He's fleet from the southern seas. He provides details about the size of the 9-masted ships and the cargo of spices and foreign timber they carried. You listen to the technical descriptions of the vessels while drinking your tea. The timber you carved today at the palace is part of the same state logistics system that builds these maritime fleets. After the tea house, you move to a street corner to observe a shadow puppetry performance. Behind a backlit white cloth, puppeteers use thin sticks to move leather figures. They act out scenes from the Three Kingdoms. You watch the mechanics of the puppets' joints, which require the same level of precision as your woodcarving work. The audience consists of soldiers, merchants, and other artisans. The performances focus on traditional Han history and legends following the cultural policies of the new dynasty. As you walk back to your hutong, you pass night watchmen carrying lanterns and wooden clappers. They are marking the time before the night curfew begins. Merchants are packing their goods and closing their stalls as the law requires. You buy a small portion of roasted chestnuts with your remaining coins. You carry your tool bag back to your room, following the rows of gray brick walls. By the time you reach your door, the streets are nearly empty, governed by the upcoming state-mandated silence, night. The rhythmic sound of wooden clappers from the night watchman signals the start of the strict curfew. You return to your room in the East City hutong immediately. In 1420, Beijing being caught on the streets after the final signal results in immediate arrest and imprisonment by the local garrison. Unlike the mobile authority of the previous era, the Ming maintained order through a rigid ward system and physical barriers. The city is locked down and movement is restricted to your immediate neighborhood until dawn. Inside your room, you light a small peanut oil lamp. Your primary task is to maintain your equipment for the next shift. You take your set of iron chisels and use a flat whetstone with a few drops of water to sharpen the edges. You check each blade under the lamp to ensure there are no nicks or dull spots. In the Imperial construction site, a blunt tool leads to inefficient work, which is recorded by the overseers and can result in docked pay. You also clean your wooden hand planes, removing any leftover resin or wood shavings from the day's labor. For a late snack, you eat a piece of dry toasted rice cracker. You drink the remaining water from your bamboo canteen. There is no social activity. The environment is focused on rest and preparation. You observe your roommates performing similar tasks, mending work clothes, or checking their own toolkits. The silence is mandatory, as loud noises can attract the attention of the neighborhood watchman. In this social structure, your private time is an extension of your professional obligation to the state. You lie down on a hard wooden platform bed, known as a fan. You listen to the wind passing through the trees in the hutong and the distant shouts of the guards at the internal gates. The safety of the city is provided by these walls and the constant presence of the imperial military. You feel the physical pressure of living and working under the direct authority of the emperor. As the oil lamp burns out, the room becomes completely dark. You sleep with your tool bag within reach, ready for the first bell of the next morning. So that was 24 hours in the Ming Dynasty of 1420. It was more than just golden roofs and imperial ceremonies. It was the real Beijing, a city of rigid bureaucratic order and massive construction logistics, of standardized modular architecture and strict night curfews, where skilled woodcarvers worked under the constant oversight of the Ministry of Works. The Ming Dynasty created the most sophisticated centralized administration of the 15th century rebuilding the heart of the empire with a level of precision that defined a new era of Han Chinese authority. Long before modern urban planning became a global science, Beijing was the original blueprint for a controlled metropolis where 100,000 artisans utilized a standardized system to build a city of 1 million people on a perfect geometric grid. While other regions were governed by decentralized systems, the Ming established the most advanced civil service and logistics network, moving massive resources across thousands of miles via the Grand Canal. They gave us innovations that still stand the final layout of the Forbidden City, the integration of large-scale engineering with traditional cosmology and a state-run production model that ensured every brick and beam met a national standard. They turned Beijing into the center of the world, launching massive maritime expeditions to the southern seas and asserting dominance over the continent. The dynasty has long passed, but the physical results of that 1420 effort remain under your feet. Every carved pillar and stone surface is a record of an anonymous artisan who met the demands of the imperial code. Thank you for watching. If you were an artisan in this 15th century system, which part of the construction would you want to handle? Leave a comment below. As always, we'll see you in the past.